Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Falcons, nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play, he rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them. You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing.
Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns.
Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 25-yard line. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Right back to him on 1st down.
Down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Treston Ebner, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Falcons, nothing. Santos kicking off for Chicago.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Strike. Black shot.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this 1st quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Here we go,
to throw here on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that is incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Let's go. Go back.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's third down.
Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Kyler Gordon picks it off.
And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away.
The Falcons take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Green jack. Right. Hut.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
He's going to take another shot here. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Fields. He gets this to Jones over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff as they run the counter play. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. There they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd and long. It's Fields. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here's Trenton Gill on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Falcon football.
Okay, right.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Black Ultra. Hut, hut.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields going up top. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to have it here just past the 25. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
And that's caught inside the 35. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They're going to look to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by him and setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one. They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion calls defensively, and it turns into a big play.
A final shot before the break. Fields. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Pringle going to stay in the...